Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tyler's Tiger Talk. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be talking about baseball. I usually don't do this, but now that it's kind of getting towards the end of the season and I really know this team, I figured why not. So Super Regional start tomorrow, which is Saturday, a day later than usual. So let's just imagine tomorrow is Friday in terms of pitching. So usually your Friday pitcher is Skeens, but and this was really talked about last week, and it was almost now that with all the storms and rain delays and all that, it was definitely smart to have Skeens pitch your first game because he pitched all of the game. He won you the game against Tulane, where you might have not really needed him, but you didn't play a game Saturday because of the weather, and you played Sunday. So kind of good that Skeens got rested up because you figured LSU wouldn't win that regional anyway. Oregon State has a really powerful offense, but you were betting on LSU to win no matter what. Even though LSU is the favorite in this super regional, it could go either way because LSU obviously won the series against Kentucky in the regular season. They did lose a game, but they took care of it on Friday and Saturday this regular season. Here's why you go with Ty Floyd tomorrow, starting as your Friday pitcher instead of your Saturday, even though technically tomorrow is Saturday. If you win with Ty Floyd tomorrow, you pretty much have a definite win with Paul Skeens. Let's just put that in picture. The Paul Skeens, for the sake of this argument, let's just say Paul Skeens is a definite win. You pitch Ty Floyd tomorrow. Let's just say Ty Floyd pitches a good game. You have a reliever, whoever it is, Guidry, Thatcher Hurd, just whoever. Guys that have been looking really good. Your relievers have been looking really, really good recently. Towards the end of the season, guys like Guidry and Thatcher Hurd had an exceptional relief. I mean, just those guys that are doing extremely well. Let's just say you pitch Ty Floyd tomorrow, whoever else to relieve him, Thatcher Hurd, Guidry, just whoever, and you win that game. Remember, Paul Skeens pitched the whole game last Friday. So he might, let's say he doesn't do that again, but he pitches most of the game and wins you the game. Then you get out of your super regional like that. That's where you should go with this game. For sure, I would be amazed if LSU does not pitch Ty Floyd tomorrow. And let's just say he gets 100 pitches, whatever. You throw in some relievers, boom, game's over. If he's on cue. Maybe you lose tomorrow. But I'd rather lose tomorrow and then pitch Skeens, and then, then I'd rather that than a potential loss with Skeens, and then you're not so confident in Ty Floyd to win. So that's where I'm going at it. I'd rather lose tomorrow than win tomorrow in a sense. I'd rather lose with Floyd than kind of waste your day with Skeens, because if you pick up that win with Floyd, even though Floyd he's an excellent pitcher, he's a good pitcher. When he's on, he's on. But the problem with Floyd, and most people know this, is he'll be on and then he'll start walking guys. And then it kind of goes downhill from there. He might get 7 strikeouts in a row, and then he might just start walking everybody, and the other team picks up momentum. But say he's on tomorrow, and he has those other relievers who are on, and they win, you're done pretty much, because you get that definite win with Skeens, if that makes sense. And that goes on to another thing I want to talk about. This is going to be a short video, but I did want to talk about one more thing. LSU's pitching and their relieving has improved significantly these past few weeks, going to the SEC tournament and now regionals. LSU's relievers have looked good. Riley Cooper, Thatcher Hurd, just those guys who have improved significantly. Let's just hope you don't have to pay that Sunday game, even though it's on Monday technically. Let's just hope you don't have to play that game on Monday. You get the win with Floyd tomorrow, starting, and then you pretty much know you're going to get that win with Skeens. I don't know the game Skeens has lost as like the games Skeens started and lost. I don't think it's that many. I don't even know if it's over one. I can't remember. He has lost one, but I can't remember the other ones. But obviously, Skeens is your ace. He's your guy who's you're gonna pick up that win with. So if Floyd's won tomorrow, it's a good sign. Most people are calling for LSU to win this regional, the super regional. So let's hope Floyd is on tomorrow. If he pitches. I'm not saying that's a definite. I think he is. I think it's the smart way to go. I didn't really get into it last week with Skeens. Wasn't that angry that Skeens started on Friday, even though it was against Tulane. We now know that was the smart decision because instead of getting less than a week, now Skeens gets a full week. They had that full week of recovery after pitching the whole game. I'm excited to see this super regional. LSU hasn't been this good in a while. We haven't made it to Omaha in a few years, so we'll see. I'm confident in those relievers now. A few weeks ago, I was like, this team doesn't look like an Omaha team. You know, they got their guys like Cruz, Tommy White, Skeens, obviously, but they don't have those relievers. Now those relievers are looking fresh. They're finishing games for you now, and that looks a lot better because I really don't think LSU was going for an SEC championship. I think this team is playing for a national championship, which kind of surprises people. Which like, wow, why don't you want to pick up an SEC championship? As big as an SEC championship is, it's just not as big as it is in sports like baseball and basketball as it is in, let's say, football. Because if you don't win an SEC championship in football, you're probably not going to go to the playoffs. It's different. LSU is playing for a title. They want to win Omaha. They want to win the College World Series, and I think they're looking like a team that can now. Obviously, in the beginning of the season, people were saying they can, and they kind of went on a rocky downward slope. I mean, towards the end of the season, they weren't looking like, they lost that series to Auburn, and they were just losing more of those weekday games, and it didn't look like LSU. And now they're on. Another thing is who bats, because it's confusing. Stravinsky, obviously, the dude can fucking hit. He's been on. Belosso's been on. But you gotta make that decision of who is going to be your catcher, because Stravinsky, he did not look good. Even though we won that game and he made up for it for a couple of hits, he did not look good behind the plate. So do you put Milazzo in, who's not a strong hitter, and put Stravinsky at designated hitter? But then you're taking Beloso out, who had 2 home runs. It was back-to-back. It was Stravinsky, Beloso, 2 days in a row. So that's a hard decision you make. I really don't think you put Jared Jones back in the lineup and what they were doing when they put Jared Jones at first base. I don't like that. I know you're trying to get him ready for next year's season, get him some experience. But I don't think you put him at first. I think you keep the same lineup. I really do, as last weekend. I just hope Stravinsky can be better with catching those balls, because he's an insane hitter. I mean, he hasn't started that many games, but he's hitting home runs like it's easy. I mean, if he did start the whole season, I think he'd have a lot more home runs than he already does. I mean, he's the guy you need. Trey Morgan, you need him at first. He's making insane plays at first. I was surprised all season to see him in the outfield. I didn't like it. I know what they were trying to go for. They're trying to mix things around, but I don't like him when he's not at first base. He's a really good first baseman. And despite what people say, when people say you don't need that great of a first baseman, just guys who doesn't let the ball get past him, Trey Morgan shows why you need an exceptional first baseman, because he is. He makes insane plays. I don't know if you saw when Travinski threw a ball that was probably supposed to be, he was throwing it to Trey Morgan. It was very off target. Should have been in the outfield, but Trey Morgan was able to stop the ball and get I'm pretty sure he got the out on that too. So he just makes these exceptional plays, and it's why he needs to be at first. Because he'd probably have a lot more errors if it was a guy like Jared Jones or whoever the hell they might throw in there at first. He's very, very good at first, and I think you keep him there. So I think I'm kind of excited to see who they put in the lineup, if they change anything else, because Travinski really, he's got to stop the ball. I know some of those were wild pitches, one of the last games, but he's got to be able to stop the ball, because on better SEC teams, when you're playing Kentucky, and if you get to Omaha and play other SEC teams, you're going to need to be able to stop the ball, because you're going to be playing some talented teams who we're not going to let up on that. I mean, he needs to be able to stop the ball at the end of the day, wild pitch or not. I get it, but still. So those are the three, like, my biggest points of who you're going to start tomorrow. Floyd or Skeens. I think you start Floyd. Your batting lineup. What's that going to look like? And last thing, I wanted to make an emphasis on what I think, and what other I've picked up on what other people think is how good the relievers are getting, and the more reliance you can set on these guys to pitch a good game. So we'll see how it's going. I don't know. I'm not a baseball expert, but I definitely start Floyd tomorrow for sure. And I might even make a video after the game tomorrow, depending on how it goes. Never count. Before I end this video, I want to say never count LSU out, because we get, as LSU fans, there's been some games this season when I'm like, shit, we might lose this game. And they've come back. LSU could hit. There's never a situation where I believe LSU can't get themselves out of. I'm excited to see how this goes. Postseason baseball, some of the funnest stuff to watch. It's the most competitive. So I'm excited. Yeah, if you want more baseball videos, if you want more baseball talk, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you would do if you were Jay Johnson, who you're going to start tomorrow, how you think LSU is going to go. Shoot, I think if they start Floyd, then Skeens on Sunday, they're going to win the series and Super Regional over, right? And then you get to Omaha. So that's just my opinion. I think LSU looks really good. I'd be surprised if how they continue played like they played against Oregon State and Tulane. If they continue to play like that, I think they can at least get to the College World Series final. Obviously, as an LSU fan, you want to see that, but we'll see. So let me know, comment, ask a question, whatever. Like I've said before, I like reading comments, answering questions, whatever. If you have a different opinion, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And as always, go Tigers.